Hi, welcome to your video on finding the value of a variable in a formula. It says the formula for finding the area of a trapezoid is A equals 1/2 times the quantity B1 plus B2 times H. A represents the area, B1 represents one of the bases, B2 represents the other base, and H is the height of the trapezoid. It says to find B2 if A is 24, B1 is 6, and H is 3. Now let's just remember what in the world a trapezoid looks like. And a trapezoid looks like this. Rough sketch of it. And the reason it has B1 and B2 is because we call this, we could call them, it doesn't matter which order we place them in. B1 and B2 there. Okay, so we have two bases, and you know that as in a rectangle or a parallelogram or whatever, our height has to be 90 degrees to the bases. So this would be our height, not this right there. That right there is not the height of my trapezoid. So my height is perpendicular to the bases being parallel to each other, right? The bases have to be parallel. So there's that. So there's the height, and really there's nothing else that we need, right? So we have the bases and the height. So there is everything labeled. So let's go ahead and solve for B2. So this relates to the last video, the 1.2a, because in the last video we were solving a formula for a specified variable, and this time we're going to be basically doing the same thing, except we're going to be getting an answer instead of just getting a particular something is a function of this. In other words, getting that letter alone, we're going to be getting a value. Okay, so here we go. We have A is 24. There's that. We're going to write the 1/2. And now I'm going to insert the B1 value, which is 6. And I don't have B sub 2. And then the height is 3. Okay, so I'm obviously looking for the B2. B sub 2, I want the value of that. Okay, so oops, let's go ahead and get the B2 alone. And what we want to do is just kind of whittle away at the things that are around it. Now I could go ahead and multiply the 1/2 and distribute that like that. I could also distribute the 3, right? But here's what I'm going to do. Instead of multiplying it all together, I'm going to actually begin to consolidate that. For instance, I'm going to rewrite this way. And I'm allowed to do that, right? I can change the order of this thing. Oops. I can change the order as long as there's multiplication between. That's the commutative property of multiplication. And I can change the order. So that's a 1/2 times that parentheses times 3. Well, I can multiply the 3 times the 1/2 and get 3/2. And that still times the parentheses. Okay? Now, what I can do in one fell swoop is I can get rid of that fraction-y looking thing by multiplying that side by 2/3. Do you see it? And that side by 2/3. Okay, now there are several ways to go about doing this, but I think that might be the easiest. So here we go. We have a 6 plus b sub 3. And 2/3 of 24. So all we're doing is this, 2/3 times 24 over 1, right? And remember, always try to reduce across the multiplication. You can't reduce across an equals. Don't get that confused. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 24 8 times. Do you notice what that did? That's really making that simple for me. So I'm just going to now subtract the 6, and we have a 10 is equal to base. Excuse me, why did I write b sub 3? Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry. That's b sub 2. Maybe in my mind I was adding the 2. Anyway, okay, fix that. Now you're probably you're a little more clear on that. You were wondering, what in the world where did the B3 come from? Okay, so B sub 2 is 10. That means this top one, let me go up here to the picture. This one was a 6, this one is a 10, and of course we said that's a 3. So it's not really drawn to scale, but may be fairly close. So there are the dimensions if I know that the area is 24. Okay, thanks for watching.